How you loving? 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 Bringing our clubhouse peeps online as well. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving, family? Look at you and your magnificent self, your powerful self, your loving self, your all-knowing, all-wise self. Look at you, being a quantum being in a physical reality. Look at you. I see you. Let's have a deep breath. Today we engage A Course in Miracles, Lesson 39. We breathe deeply and we take a moment to draw all of our friends and loved ones and compadres and mighty companions, as the Course calls them, mighty companions, people who walk this planet with us in a mighty way. We supporting them and they supporting us in incredible ascension. Here we are to consider A Course in Miracles, Lesson 139. We breathe deeply and allow. Breathing and coming to a meditative state, we clear the mind, we let go of judgments, we let go of time. We allow, we open to this glorious universe. We know that I am is here now in full glorious manifestation. As always, I am the one we know as Source, Creator, God, Goddess, the All. And we are choosing to live from infinite and ultimate reality, knowing that we walk the planet as gods, having a moment in time space. Allow. Relax. All is well. Everything is working out perfectly for you. You have no problems. They've all been solved. But the only one problem is separation, and that problem has already been solved. Therefore, all the others along with it. You are guided always. You are held up by the everlasting arms. You are cared for, guided, protected, loved, healed, made complete and perfect from the mind of the Creator, and still remain so. This must be felt, experienced below the neck. It cannot just be a head exercise. This is an experiential way of living, being. We live from, as, and in ultimate reality here in space-time. And now we open our eyes slowly to give attention, awareness with intention to A Course in Miracles, Lesson 139. Slowly we emerge, opening our eyes to the third dimension, aware that the third dimension is not ultimate reality, that we are having an experience in the third dimension because God chose to come here as you. Yay! On our live stream on YouTube, if you're not connected with the YouTube channel, by all means become a member. It's only $4.99 a month, and that keeps all of these free. There are no ads on any of the ACIM lessons. It's all free. So if you love the work, thank you, thank you, thank you to all the super chatters, all the ones who send me Satoshis on Cash App, all of you who are wonderful givers. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And if you love the work, by all means, consider becoming a member on the channel for $4.99 a month, and you will receive all of the books as a gift in ebook form. And all you members, you have some books coming to you soon. I've been creating. I've been creating. Lesson 139. I will accept atonement for myself. Tell yourself, I will accept atonement for myself at 1 minute. Not that you have to go to a priest and declare all your problems and get some kind of absolution from another human being who's exactly your equal. No. At 1 minute, here is the end of choice. For here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. One day we are going to accept ourselves as God created us, that God created us perfect, whole, with nothing missing, no problems, complete peace, complete perfect being. And somehow we mangled it into being something else. Here is the end of choice. It's simply a decision. You don't choose between whether I want to be happy or sad, whether I want to be sick or well, whether I want to be this or that. We are simply coming to the end of choice, and we're making the decision to accept yourself, accept myself as God created me. That's all. It's an acceptance. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? That's when you think you have to make a choice. You can't make a choice about who you are. Dr. Jiwa says something really powerful that her master teacher shared with her. You can't change who you are, what you are. Now, what you are is not up to you. Now, what you think you are is up to you. You can't change your essential nature. You cannot change into a quantum being. You can't change that you are of ultimate reality, and that when in this third dimension, we call it God, because that denotes something far beyond this third dimension. You can't change that. You can't change that your energy. You can change who you think you are. So this is really us coming home to the acceptance of what we really are. There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail the simple question, what am I? Ha, ha, ha. Because if we answer that question, we answer all the others. What am I? And am I right now thinking, acting, walking, moving, breathing in accord with what I am? Yeah, who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize himself? The only people who ask this question are the people that have not yet accepted who they really are. And I understand, yes, beloved, I hear it. The whole world has exerted tremendous pressure upon you and your psyche and your consciousness and your emotional body to not be great. Mediocre, good enough for government work. That's what they used to say when I was growing up. Yeah, good enough for government work, even though there was this other thing that was telling us, yes, go for it. Yes, put some elbow grease into it. We did get a lot of pressure a lot of downward pressure, let's call it gravity, from ourselves and from the environment that told you you were not God, you're not great, you're not magnificent, you are not a timeless, immortal being. Well, somebody else died. No, 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 no. We don't believe that. Only refusal to accept yourself can make the question seem to be sincere. If you refuse to accept what you are, then you have to ask the question, what am I? Because we're refusing to accept who we really are. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. A badger knows it's a badger. A lion knows. A lion cub comes out. It doesn't start acting like a sheep and go bah. It's not confused. There's no confusion anywhere in nature. There's no confusion anywhere in life. So why are we confused? From this one point of certainty, we have a point of certainty. What I am is a point of certainty. What you are is a point of certainty. It looks on other things as certain as itself. Then everything seems certain, secure, and in proper order. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception on a scale so vast its magnitude can hardly be conceived. If we do not accept what we are, timeless source, then we are deceiving ourselves on magnitudes that we cannot even conceive. And it is bleeding into every area of our life's affairs. To be alive and not to know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? Who is the doubter? What is it he doubts? Whom does he question? Who can answer him? These questions are going on inside of our minds. I remember when I was in deep confusion about who and what I am. What am I? What's my purpose, God? I stopped asking all those questions when I accepted, started to accept, and seek to fully accept. Well, source, pure source energy, dipped into a body avatar, an avatar body for a little bit, looking around, having experiences, doing things, having a good reason for dipping into an avatar body for a while, and then that which is informing, healing, sustaining, loving, and lifting and taking care of the avatar body is the energy current you are, which is running through the avatar body and even keeping the avatar body alive. Once the avatar body is done with, you'll drop it and you'll go on to something else. Now, Robert sent me the most incredible article yesterday. The most incredible article, and as I was reading it, I thought I was reading A Course in Miracles, yet it was from scientists, and scientists are saying, certain scientists are saying that they now have found that there are multiverses, and that when your consciousness leaves your body, it is quite likely that it goes into another avatar body in another multiverse. Could be that another multiverse springs into existence. Sounds very much like spirituality, doesn't it? Another multiverse springs into existence, and you go and inhabit that avatar body in that multiverse, and that alternate quote unquote universe or parallel reality or whatever you'd like to call it, beloved. The bottom line is you are the consciousness, you are not the body. For what is life? It's okay, we've asked those questions. He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore being something else becomes a questioner of what that something else is. When we don't accept who we really are, that we are timeless source, that we are infinite energy, that we are pure consciousness inhabiting an avatar body for a bit, for purposes, for meaning. Everything in the universe is for meaning. When we don't accept that, then we think, well, who am I? I'm a Black woman. I'm a teacher. I'm a mother. I'm a father. We start naming all the things that we think we are. And then here come the onslaught of questions. Because if you don't know who you are, you must have an onslaught of questions. You must. And you must be confused and you must be in doubt because we have decided that it's too much to be God. Too much will be demanded of us. It's too much responsibility. I don't really want to be the big, magnificent being that something inside me is telling me that I am. I don't want to be great. It's too much work. I'm over it. So let me just be here and be a human. I'm a teacher. And then when you retired from being a teacher for 30 years. Oh, I'm having an existential crisis. I thought I was a teacher. It just filled up so much of my life. No, we filled up our life. You are not a teacher. Your avatar body was doing things while you were on the planet. And we filled up our lives with so much content of what we thought we were. And we only filled it with content that seemed to match what we thought we were. And anything that didn't match what we thought we were, we couldn't accept it into our consciousness, even though this morning I was meditating on one of my ayahuasca journeys. And I was meditating on, it came to me, this ayahuasca journey, and I can still see this being that came to me in that ayahuasca journey. And it was, I can still see it. I can still see it. And it wasn't scary. It was mind bending. That's what it was. It wasn't scary. It was mind bending. And the way that this particular being was teaching me this message, this lesson. And as I was learning the lesson in this experience, it was coming to me that I didn't know who I was. And the voices told me that. It told me that one time in a shrooms experience. It said, you don't know who you are. It was like, ooh, is that my major problem? Well, is it? You don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, everything is going to come into question. So in this ayahuasca journey, it showed me like a baby and a pile of poop. It showed me like a serial killer and a flower. And it was laughing and it was showing me all these things. And of course, it was in rhythm and perfect symmetry, because the mother, when she speaks to you, she is in perfect symmetry. It's geometric. It's so beyond this world. It's not. I've never seen anything in this world that is like an ayahuasca experience. And so you meet up with things that are not of this world. You meet up with shapes, and you're seeing them very clearly and vividly, that you're having experiences that are not of this world, while your avatar body is laying there, I don't know, maybe pooping or maybe purging or maybe sleeping, I don't know, or in a deep meditation, and you're in this other world. Well, what it was showing me was all the content of this world, and that the universe likes all this content. And the more strange it is, I call that ayahuasca experience, I named it. I named it the beautiful strangeness, because that's what it was. It was strange and it was beautiful. It was like a person with a hat, and then a person with an extraordinary hat. I don't just mean a cap or just a hat. I mean some monstrosity, like something the Mad Hatter would make in Alice in Wonderland. And then there were something else strange, and that life was showing me that not only did it hold, and all of this was in life, and life, it kept coming to me like, it had a rhythm to it and a symmetry to it, and it was undulating, and it was nonstop. It wouldn't stop. And it was insistent, I could say, on conveying this message to me. This teacher, that mother, now it didn't look like the mother, because the mother, how she appears to me, looked very different. So perhaps the mother had sent me one of the teachers to give me this message. And what I got from that message, well, I got many, many, many things from that ayahuasca experience. One of them is that we hold a lot of content, and the content, I'm a teacher. Who you say you are, please get this. Drop everything and please get this. Who you say you are will determine the content you allow into your life. I'll give you an example. If you're a pastor, I'm a pastor, you assume that identity, pastor is not an identity, it's just something we do. I'm a pastor, it's just something I do. It's not an identity. When a person, let's say a person assumes pastor as an identity, because they're questioning, they don't know who they are. They feel this call from God. They think the call is to be something in this third dimension. We all think that in the beginning, rather than the call is to be God. First and foremost, remember who you are. So what do? We go into, being a pastor, go to divinity school and get all the certificates and read all the Bible and, all the things we do to become ministers, right? I have 4 years of schooling to become and deep personal introspection, deep personal healing, deep. And I think the school that I went to, I've never been to divinity school. I don't know that divinity school goes that deep within the pastor itself, because this was not a religious school. This was a school of spirituality. And mystery schools are very interesting. So, anyway, if a person has the identity pastor, they will only allow themselves to do pastor things. They think that's the first problem. No, thank you, Spirit. Back up. The first problem is that we identified with pastor. Okay, I'm a pastor. No, you're not. That's something you do. Everyone's God, infinite source energy, period, end of story. You can't change what you are. Now, what you do with the energy as pure consciousness is completely up to you. We're doing pastoring, we're not being a pastor. So the first problem is an identity crisis, which, as we can see, leads to all the other problems. So because I think this person thinks that they're a pastor, they will only let into their consciousness pastor things. I go to church. I don't go to the mosque. I don't go to a Hindu temple. You see, they're cutting out probably 90% of the experiences that they could have on planet Earth, because they have identified with one particular thing and only allow what matches that identity into their world. When you can have any kind of experiences on this planet, if you were completely free and you were God, you could do anything. Yet, now what happens? Here's a third issue. So the first issue is identity crisis. Second issue is now I've cut out 90% of the things that I could do because I've identified myself as a pastor. Okay, third problem. If you want to do something that is inconsistent with who you say you are, this was me. I was a minister in Jehovah's Witnesses for 26 years, from age 3, 4, all the way to 30 when I bust out of the cult. And in that experience, I was called a minister of Jehovah's Witnesses. I was baptized, dedicated my life to God. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Got baptized, yes, and that baptism was real. Yes, I did, even though I didn't really know what the heck it was doing. I was 15. God knew. Something in me knew. And yes, I was a minister there for all those years, and all I did was minister kinds of things. So now here, if you want to do something that is inconsistent with the identity you have shackled yourself to, it will not be accepted by the people around you, and you will have to sneak and do it. Hence, inner conflict and division within oneself. And that's how you get pastors whoring with 5 women in church. Now, if you weren't a pastor and you weren't married, and even if you were married and you and your wife said, hey, we're going to be open, you do you, me, I do me. You could go with 5 women tonight if you wanted to. You could have an orgy every night, and it would be perfectly okay. You would have no inner conflict about it. You would be, if you were living that life and you were not a pastor and you were like, I'm a free lover, you would be completely consistent within yourself. Yet, if you're a pastor, you've shackled yourself to an identity. There's certain things you can't do, yet you really want to do them because we came here to have many experiences. You will cut yourself off from those experiences. So the only way you'll be able to still have those experiences is if you sneak and hide and lie and be out of integrity with yourself. I did it. I was sneaking around with boys because it wasn't going to be acceptable for me to be, yeah, you know what we was doing when we was teenagers. Was that going to be acceptable if you go back to mom and say, yeah, I tell you, here came the scarves because I had the hickeys on my neck. One time my mother said, what's that red thing on your neck? I was like, a mosquito bite. Ma, oh my God, we was in the park. The mosquitoes got us. Come on, child. We know you're lying. Now, Why are we doing all that? Because we don't know who we are. Here, the Course is telling us from the very beginning, I will accept atonement for myself. What does that mean? I will accept who I really am. Atonement at one mint. So, therefore, you can see the deep, pervading problems that we are now disintegrating. They're disintegrated in the light of truth. That happen when you identify yourself. I would call identifying yourself with anything other than what you really are is the mother of all problems. It is the mother of all problems. Because when you know who you are, that's it. That's all you need to know. Oh, I'm consciousness having an experience here on planet Earth. I'm consciousness. I'm consciousness that's racing through, that's keeping this avatar body intact right now. That frequency, which is vibration with information. I'm right now, I'm the consciousness informing my liver of what to do. I'm the consciousness informing my skin to slough off the old cells and put on some new cells. I am the consciousness that's beating this heart. I'm not the one who's beating the heart. I'm the conscious, I'm not the one who's having their heart beat. You see, you're not a body. You're not a body. Tell yourself, I am not a body. I am not a body. I have a body. So now we can begin to really unpack family. I'm telling you, if you're here every morning and you really dive in, we say it all the time, right? If you really commit, I'm really committed this time. I've done A Course in Miracles 50 million times before. I've never done it like this because I made a commitment to myself and to the universe that I'm going to do something different. I'm going to honor the God I am. And I know you made that same commitment too because you're here like a spiritual gangster every morning, holding the vibration high for the whole planet. The planet needs you. It needs all the witches, the wizards, the warlocks, the magical beings, the mermaids, the fairies. It needs all the magical beings to come out, as they say, out of the woodworks and start working your magic, your mojo, healing people, having people come into their right mind. And remember that ye are gods and goddesses. So when we have an identification with anything other than energy, can't energy do anything? I think I'll eat a mango. I think I'll sex this person. I think I'll climb that mountain. I think I'll fill in the blank. Consciousness is experiencing things through your avatar body. I'm not saying you're supposed to just do anything that hits your lower mind. That would be disastrous. I'm saying that you are not cutting into whoever this being is that's giving us this profound teaching right now. This is a profound teaching. I'm paying close attention because I had no intention to say any of this. Let me rephrase that. Let me correct that. I have every intention of saying this. I just don't know. I didn't know that I was going to say this before I said it. So here you have it. The lower mind didn't know that this was going to be said. So identity crisis is at the core of every issue we have. He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something else is. Yet he could never be alive at all unless he knew the answer. If he asks, if he asks as if he does not know, it merely shows he does not want to be the thing he is. We don't want to be God. He has accepted it because he lives, has judged against it and denied its worth, and has decided that he does not know the only certainty by which he lives. There's only one certainty, is that your consciousness. There's only one certainty. You're your consciousness and you are the universe and the universe is you. There's only one certainty. Well, when we throw out that certainty, well, we're just left with a bag of questions and doubts and who am I and soul searching that doesn't need to be done. Thus, he becomes uncertain of his life for what it has been denied, but for what it is has been denied by him. We denied being God. No, that can't be it. I can't be pure consciousness. There must be something else. Looking for it where it's not, looking for it in the third dimension. It is for this denial that you need atonement. That's why we need the at-one-ment, the atonement. I'm telling you, it's not a priest that you go, forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. One day I want the Father to say, you know what, forgive me because I've sinned too. What you got for me? Your denial made no change in what you are. Here we have it again. You can't change what you are. You can only change what you think you are. But you have split your mind into what knows and does not know the truth. There's a split mind because deep inside yourself, there's a knowing of what you are. It never left. It is what we call the truth. Yet in the mind, we're walking around with an avatar body thinking we're that body. So when someone slaps that body, you slapped me. Can you slap consciousness? Go get consciousness and put it on the table. What color is consciousness? What does it look like? No one ever slapped you a day in your life. They can't even reach you. This is what Psalm 91 is talking about. The whole Bible is energetic. It said, I dwell in the safe, and for I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, safe under the pinions of the Almighty. I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. What does that mean? Nobody can see me. Nobody can see you. We deny who we are. Your denial made no change in what you are, but you have split your mind into what knows and does not know the truth. You are yourself. There is no doubt of this. And yet you doubt it. You are yourself. Man, I doubted it probably yesterday. I'm feeling so human right now. Wow, there you go. Don't want to be God. Don't want to be infinite consciousness. But you did not ask what part of you can really doubt yourself. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question, for it asks of one who knows the answer, where a part of you, the certainty would be impossible. Who's asking the question, what am I? Who's asking that question? This means a ruthless examination of self. We don't have time to look at other people, family. If you're really looking at your consciousness and what do I believe and what do I hold as truth, and am I really God? As a matter of fact, when we were in the mystery schools in Kemet, also known as Egypt, you remember being in the mystery schools in Kemet. I'm sure you were there. I'm sure we were there together. And you remember that they made you do things that proved to you you were beyond human. Like they put you in a water, like took you into the temple, and you had to swim from one side to the other side of the temple. You had to not necessarily swim, however you would motate yourself from one side of the pool to the other side of the water, and you couldn't hold your breath that long. So you had to call on some higher force. You had to do something to live, and you did. I mean, they were doing all kinds of things to you in the mystery schools that supposedly can't be done to humans, yet you did it. Christ was doing all kinds of things that supposedly humans can't do, yet he did it. Why? Because we were calling on the true self, because we were in that moment remembering who we are. And why do you have to have something untoward happen or your life be threatened before your true consciousness, God's self, steps in and does something superhuman? You can just be superhuman all the fucking time. Atonement at one with the whole universe. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it is possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. Deep down inside, you know what you are. You feel the energy, you're in tune with the energy, you're talking to people that are supposedly not here, supposedly dead, you're talking to your doppelganger in other universes. You're doing all of that. And then you tell yourself you're human. These two ideas are inconsistent. You're talking to angels, you're talking to dead people. On the third dimension, they would say, my grandmama's dead. Big Mama's dead. No, she's not. She's standing right here. And then people looking at you like, oh, and they know deep down inside, oh, yeah, she is. But they don't want to accept it because they're too afraid of the consequences of going ahead and going with the truth. Too afraid. That was me, so afraid. To go beyond what had been pinned on my mind as the truth. That wasn't truth. Take them out. Take the pins out. This is the depth of madness, yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Why share in the mad belief that what is popularly believed on this planet is true? Step out of the madness. In 2020 and 2021, I saw madness. I was like, oh, I'm not going to participate in that. And I promise you, when I talked about it on Facebook, people came for the attack. What? Okay. Wow. I'm just going to not be in the madness, and you can be in the madness if you want to. And I have a question for you. Does it feel good to be in the madness? It doesn't feel good to me to be in the madness. Anytime I go in the madness, it doesn't feel good. What? Are you peaceful? Are you happy? Or are you threatened and afraid? I would rather be peaceful and happy no matter what. Something's going to get you. Well, when it gets me, I'll be peaceful and happy. It will find a peaceful, happy host. And we'll hang out and have a party for a while, and I'll have some kind of experience, and then it'll go on. You know, it says that the world is in the depth of madness. The world is mad. And here is the question, paragraph 6, line 5. Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Oh, it's universal here. Most people believe it. But we would be mad to share in the sad belief that it's true. Oh my goodness. But a lot of people believe it. Yes, they do. And you're going to have to not be the lot of people. Oh, yeah, you'll be weird. You'll be standing off to the side like, oh, what do I do with myself now? Because I'm not with the herd. The herd, until the herd turns around and turns to the light, the herd is mad. And it says, I'll read this question again. This is such a good question. This is a question for 2020 and 2021. Now that's why we're in 2022, because we, the light workers, decided and stop the foolishness. Raise the vibration of the whole planet. If you raise the vibration of the whole planet, certain things are just not possible in this on this planet. Raise the vibration of all planets, raise the vibration in the whole universe of the third dimensional reality, right? Here is the question again. Why share its madness? Why share in the world's madness? In the sad belief. It's a sad belief. We're mad and sad, crazy and sad, believing that what is universal here is true. What the doctor is telling you, it's universal. It's just not true. What the teachers in the school are telling you, it's universal. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Look how they hammered it into our heads. We can call this shit up at will. It's universal. It's not true. People were already here before you got here. It's not true. Then when he got here, he raped and pillaged and murdered and hit people over the head and said, here, this is your book now. Here's your Bible. And he's a hero. Plunderers and colonizers are heroes, and murderers and rapists and pillagers, and people that rush into other people's homes and kill them and burn their stuff and burn their books and chop down their holy houses. Those are heroes. And it's universally held that Christopher Columbus discovered America. There's a lot of things that are universally held that are not true. I didn't want to believe the things that were universally held as beliefs here. I want to know what's true, and I'm sure you do too. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. Nothing the world believes is true. Let me say that again. I need that for myself. Paragraph 7. Nothing the world believes is true. You get a disease from outside. That's not true. Something can jump on you from the outside and kill you. That's not true. If it gets inside you, it's going to kill you. That's not true. If you keep washing your hands all day long, I saw something yesterday. I started to take a picture of it and put it in the ACIM Telegram group. Yes, we have an ACIM Telegram group, and we can get you the link, probably pin it to the top or something like that. That I started to take a picture of this and send it to the ACIM Telegram group to say, don't let this world deceive you. I was in the restroom in Brickell here in Miami. I love going to Brickell. Brickell is super, super, super rich, right? Super designer, super, it just feels so good. It just feels so good. So I'm in Brickell. I had my breakfast in Brickell at one of my favorite spots in Miami. It was lovely. It was luscious. It was delicious. It was lovely. And then I went across the street. I went into the shopping center and I did some journaling. I was writing about the Ascension NFT and putting to paper all of the downloads I've been receiving about crypto and turning books into NFTs and all the things I'm going to be sharing with you tonight on the Bitcoin class in Ascension. If you're not in Ascension, what's happening? Okay. Go to ValerieLove.com. So anyway, here I was, and I was in Brickell, and I had to go to the restroom. So I went to the restroom, and here in the restroom, it had two sides. It had posted two places, by where you get the napkins to dry your hands and by where you get the soap to wash your hands. It said, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Clean hands save lives. That's not true. I laughed when I saw it. Clean hands save lives. So that's the whole reason why people die, because your hands were dirty. Well, if you, according to that sentence, if you wash your hands all the time, you will never die. Clean hands save lives. Is that true? Of course, that's not true. You know, a bunch of people that died with clean hands. You know, what about the surgeon who has super clean hands, scrubbed up, and drops dead of a heart attack? Come on, people. Clean, clean hands save lives. I wanted to just laugh. I said, here we go. Here we go. Here are my mad beliefs that I'm still holding. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have seen this sign. Here are the mad beliefs that still circulate in my consciousness. Glad I was on A Course in Miracles this morning so I can simply say, that's not true. Nothing the world believes is true. The sooner you come to this, you know, at first when I found this out, I was very disillusioned. And then I was, oh, the things we believe, Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. That's not true. You're a Savior. You are your own salvation. Oh my God, white people hate Black people. That's not true. I know a lot of Black and white people that are married. Get over it. Stop it. White people are the devil. That's not true, because I've seen a lot of devilish Black people, Spanish people, Chinese people. I've seen a lot of devilish kind of people, and it wasn't mattering what color they were wearing at the time. I grew up with that. White people are the devil because I grew up in Harlem, and Elijah Muhammad was the prophet there, Nation of Islam, and they stood on the corner in Harlem, 125th Street, and everywhere else, a lot of different corners, and they would give out the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and the whitey was the devil. And of course, Malcolm X was with it. He was with Whitey's the devil. He was with it until here's how truth will come and smack you in the face. No, it's not. That's what the world believes. That's what some people in the world believe. The whole world doesn't even believe that. That's what some people in the world believe. And then Malcolm X went to Mecca and had an experience of his life where he saw every race of people together praying. He could not believe it. Looked around, could not believe. He saw every race of people praying together peacefully to the same Allah. Came back and was no longer with the program. Oh, you're not with the program no more? Oh, you're not going to do this no more? Okay, the powers that be say, no, you got too powerful because you have a voice and you went to Mecca. Now you have the spiritual and the physical. Oh, wait a minute. He couldn't drop his avatar body until he completed his assignment here, and he completed his assignment here. That's why we're even talking about Malcolm X right now. Nothing the world believes is true. We ought to meditate on that for the next 10 years. Nothing the world believes is true. It's like bizarro world. It's like everything the world believes is the exact opposite is the truth. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. So this is a big playground for you to question yourself. That's why you came here, just to question yourself. What am I? And they will come again until the time atonement is accepted. Well, you just keep visiting worlds like this one and multi-universes, parallel dimensions. You'll keep coming to space-time because you got to question who you are, because it's really easy to forget who you are in this time-space continuum. And they will come again until the time atonement is accepted. And they will learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not be aware of what you are. It's impossible to not be what you are and not be aware of what you are, because the awareness of what you are and the truth of what you are has always stayed in your mind, in your consciousness. And whether we deny it, don't want to act on it, whatever, well, that's completely up to us. But don't say you don't know who you are, because you do. Deep down inside, you do. You know. Denying it's not going to help you. It's just going to mean that you have to do more space-time traveling through dimensions until, oh yeah, I know, now I know what I am. Only acceptance can be asked of you, for what you are is certain. It's certain. And you've proven it to yourself because you've had all kinds of experiences that are far beyond space time. You're doing magic, you're doing all kinds of incredible things that are far beyond space time. You know it, you've proven it to yourself. It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own mind, in the holy mind of God as your mind. What you are is established forever, cannot be changed. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show that you believe the contradiction, that you know not what you cannot fail to know. We believe the contradiction. What am I? Who am I? What is my purpose here, God? What am I supposed to do, God? Help me, help me, help me. I used to pray those prayers. Not no more. Like all you need to do is accept what you really are. Pure consciousness. Source, God, Goddess, and that's it. That's all you have to do with your mind. Now, from that knowing, you can do all manner of wonderful things. Create a healing practice, creating an energy center to help people with healing. Be a Reiki practitioner. Be a tarot slinger, card slinger. Help people with divination. Help people with herbs. Help people with essential oils. All of it. You're doing it from a consciousness of knowing who you are. Is this a question or a statement which denies itself in statement? Let us not allow our holy minds to occupy themselves with senseless musings such as this. Who am I? When deep down inside we know exactly who we are. We have a mission here. We have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. I'm not here to reinforce all the religious madness they put into my mind, all of the race madness they put into my mind, all of the health madness they put into my mind, all of the love relationship madness they put into my mind. I am not here to reinforce that. I'm on a mission. You're on a mission. We're on a mission for truth. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. We accepted this goal. We accepted that we are on a mission and that we were going to go in when we were in consciousness, pure consciousness, without a body. It was like, yeah, party, party, and in source, mind showed us the suffering of the planet, and we knew we could do something about it. I'm going to go in and do something about the suffering of the planet. That's what you said. And when you got here, it came into your avatar body, and it was like, whoa, oh my God. An avatar body, and you were screaming and born and whatever happened when you were born. God, I forgot how this body thing is. Whoa, I have an arm, and you couldn't control your arm. Babies can't control themselves. Their nervous system is not all aligned yet, and you kept slapping yourself, and you were like, oh damn. Can you imagine when you come into an avatar body? At first it's like a robot trying to move around, and then finally you're like, man, can I walk? Do these legs even work? I saw a little baby toddling around yesterday. It's so cute, right? We think it's a baby. This is like a infinite consciousness coming into an avatar body. That's why it's jerking all around. Like, what the hell did I get myself into? Right? And here you are now in the avatar body. And then you start having all these experiences in the avatar body. Somebody slaps your avatar body. You were like, oh my God, what? Was that pain? Because you didn't know any pain when you're in infinite consciousness, right? And then somebody else comes along and they stick their dick in your vagina, and you're like, oh, that's horrible. They call it down here on this planet, they call that rape. That's horrible. Let's kill all the people that do that. And then you have all these horrible experiences, right? And then it looks like somebody dropped their avatar body. Oh my God, I was so in love with you when you dropped your avatar body. And then we could become so convinced that we're no longer the infinite consciousness. No, 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 no. Don't believe the ruse. There is something so far beyond all the experiences we are having in space-time. It is unfathomable. This universe is so filled with beings you would not even imagine unless you went and explored it for yourself. We couldn't even tell you about it. I'm a cosmonaut. I'm always exploring the cosmos. I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about I wanted to know all the beings. I don't even know if I've even met 0.1% of the beings, and I met a lot of beings. The quantum physicists call them conscious agents. They wouldn't call them angels. They wouldn't call them Orisha or Lua. They wouldn't call them ascended masters. or they're interacting with us all the time. Yet, and we're having these experiences, yet we're denying we're having these experiences. You came here for a mission. And the mission is not to reinforce the madness that's on the planet. We once believed the madness. It's not that. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. We accepted a goal. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept is what we are. We are what we accept is what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. I'm God, you're God. It must be. Fail not your brothers, your sisters, brothers, and others, or you fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, all of them, white, black, Chinese, brown, Caucasian. I've been all around this world. I've been all around the world. And I got to tell you something. We just came from Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and we were hanging out with Arab people. We were hanging out with people from Pakistan. We were hanging out with people from Abu Dhabi. Well, Arab people, Abu Dhabi. Dubai, Middle Eastern people. We were hanging out with a lot of people from the Philippines. We were hanging out with a lot of people. None of them looked like the devil to me. European people, all kinds of people, African people, all kinds of people. People from Egypt, all kinds of people. It says, fail not any of them. Look lovingly on them, that they may know that they are part of you and you of them. Act 1 minute. That is the atonement. The act 1 minute. The act 1 minute. I am one with you, Chinese lady. I am one with you, Kenyan brother. I am one with you, Balinese baby. I am one with you. Just look around. Just keep going around. It's going to shatter all your beliefs because you want to think. A lot of Black people want to think Black is special because we have melanin. I found that wasn't true. I went to ultimate reality with that question because it was a real question for me. I really had to question it. That's why I came into this avatar body that looks Black, so that I could really explore what is, consciousness wanted to explore what is life for a Black woman in the 60s and 70s. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What's happening? What's happening around you? What's this? And sure enough, Black people have a lot of beliefs in their minds that are not true. Just as sure, I'm thinking maybe every race of people has a lot of beliefs in their mind that are not true. Black people are not special in that regard. Probably a lot of races, probably a lot of cultures, probably a lot of creeds, probably all the religions have a lot of beliefs in their mind that are not true. They're just not true. Now, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that anybody was a bad person that told us these things. It doesn't mean anything. Just drop it. Black people are not better or worse. I can guarantee you that because some places you go and Black people are not welcome, and some other places you go, they will laud you as a god on the same planet. I don't know. It's the beliefs they're holding in their mind. What are you holding in your mind? Because that's the only thing that really matters. Do you know who you are? Apparently, I forget because that's what the upper realms tell me, the conscious agents. You don't know who you are. Ooh. You hear the voice and you know you're hearing the voice for God. You know you're hearing a conscious agent speaking to you in a language you understand. This does atonement teach and demonstrates the oneness. You can't have oneness and have racism at the same time. You can't have oneness and keep your separation. You can't have oneness and say this group of people is better than that group of people. I find that Black people have fallen into the trap. I'm about to hurt some feelings now. Please strap your wig on because I'm coming for some people right now. I find that Black people start to do the same thing that white people did in our experience here in this country, that not all white people, certain white people, that white people came up with, certain white people, not all, certain white people came up with a justification as to why Black people were less than them, actually less than human. And then when Black people got freed of those people, Black people came up with justifications and reasons why Black people are better than them. Do you see? It's the same thing, beloved. It's the same game. And I had to prove it to myself because I'm just a little girl from Harlem in the avatar body, not in infinite consciousness. I'm a mighty being. I'm a mighty cosmic being, and you are too. In the avatar body, well, the story is I was born in Harlem, blah, blah, blah. And when I was born in Harlem, I was surrounded by Black people. Yeah, there was a few, there was I'm talking about in a part of Harlem where I live. And then we had the part of Harlem that was Spanish Harlem. It was all our Dominicanos, Dominican brothers and sisters, Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, Cuban, And then when we went downtown or went over to Brooklyn, there was the Jewish part of town. And then when we went downtown, we were all kind of all blended in together, and the Greek people and all the people, is melting pot, and you can get your, a gyro and your all of that. So where I lived every day, the people I interacted with every day, pretty much black people in Harlem, and they had certain beliefs. And none of them told me that they were God. I didn't hear that from anyone. None of them told me that they were infinite consciousness and that I was too, and that I was one with all people. Now, in New York, you didn't have all of this foolish racism stuff that I saw later on in my life when I went to Maryland and like south of the Mason-Dixon line. We just didn't have that in New York. Everybody was with everybody. Everybody was doing their thing. Sometimes you heard the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans didn't get along too well, but it wasn't a thing, right? We were all in New York together, eating each other's foods, eating them bagel and lox, and eating potato latkes, and eating gyros and cubanos. I used to love my Cuban sandwiches. Oh my God. We were all together. And we knew we were one. You're one, and it feels so much more peaceful to be at one with everyone around you. My infinite consciousness chose for me to be born in that place so that I could grow up seeing the truth, so that I could teach from a place of truth. Today, accept atonement. Not to change reality, but merely to accept the truth about yourself and go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. Go your way rejoicing because you're infinite consciousness and you're just rejoicing. It is but this that we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. That's all you're going to do today. You're just going to go your way rejoicing, knowing that I am infinite consciousness and the love of God. Period. 5 minutes in the morning and at night, we will devote to dedicate our minds to our assignment for today. We have an assignment. We're on a mission. We're not just here bumbling around, being on Facebook, being on Netflix, going on Amazon, all that. Focus your mind, beloved, focus your mind. We're going to focus our minds together. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. That was a formal lesson. I am as God created me. You were created perfect, whole, pure consciousness, infinite energy. Nothing changed. I will accept atonement for myself. That's all you really have to do is remember who you are. Act one meant with the all, with the whole. No splinters, no separation, no parts. One. We live in one big great universe, but what? Venus is getting along with Mars, isn't it? Saturn is very happy with the moon, yes. You never saw them fight. If they fought, we'd all be dead. That would be the end of civilization as we know it. We would be the next extinct species after the 99%, as Donald D. Hoffman says, 99% of the species that have ever lived on planet Earth are extinct. Looks like we might be the next one. I don't know. We can choose. What I do know is infinite consciousness is what you are, and you can't not be that. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when He created us like Him. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one. We can remember it for everyone. You can remember it for 8 billion people on the planet. And in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth. Everyone that you meet is a dear brother in truth. Don't put up a hate barricade. How much a part of us is every mind, every mind. How faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. Mother, Father, God's love contains all of us. I am sustained by the love of God. We are sustained by the love of God. Tell yourself that you are sustained by the love of God. We are one with all. This universe is not fragmentary. And thanks for all creation in the name of its creator and his oneness with all aspects of creation. We repeat our dedication to our cause today, each hour, every hour. I will accept atonement for myself. I will accept atonement for myself. Every hour, I will accept atonement for myself. I remember I'm one with you and you and you. I'll be in the airport today. I'll be looking around the airport. I'll accept atonement for myself. Yep, I'm one with you and you and you. There is no other. For several minutes, let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs. Just get the foolish cobwebs out. Racism, hate, separation. I don't like how they do it. Baptists against Catholics, Protestants against this one. The Lutherans don't like the Catholic people. Whatever. The Christians don't like the Muslims, but whatever. Stop. Clear your mind for a minute of all the foolish cobwebs, which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God. See, someone went weaving around your head, all of our heads, they went weaving stories of madness, depending on what clan we were born in. Yeah, we don't like those people. Yeah, this is just weaving cobwebs. Why? Because their head was all cobwebby. It was all weaved with cobwebs around them. And then they passed on the beauty of that. They passed the favor on. And now what we're saying is, close your eyes, turn within, and I've only found one thing that removes all the cobwebs, and that is meditation, being completely still, silent, and turned within. The cobwebs are gone. And learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness. As you say, these chains, they're very fragile. You can just bust them off. Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. Just let it go. You're your Lord and Savior. Only Christians are going to, win in the end. Everybody else going to hell. People in hell right now. People in heaven right now. Stop it. All these beliefs that we have, Adam and Eve were real people. Really? Still can't find their bones. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're real. Maybe we just haven't found their bones yet. I mean, let's accept a lot of this stuff was made up. Can we just accept that? You know, at some points the atheists are right. They're like, man, those religious people, they just believe in a lot of things that are just not even scientifically possible. And when we say scientifically possible, we mean that that some of our sciences, especially archaeology, has already ruled out that there were 2.5 million Israelites in the wilderness. That's not possible. It's not possible. So, yeah, the Bible says it. The Bible is not telling you things that are literal. Bible's book of energy and metaphor and numerology and story and allegory and mysticism. The Bible is such a multidimensional book, far beyond this dimension. And if you only believe it in this dimension, in space time, and you take all the stories in there for being stories in space time, well, you'll be confused indeed, and you won't find the proof of what you're looking for. Here's what we're going to remind ourselves of every hour on the hour. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me, period. That is, of course, Miracles Lesson 139. I'm Reverend Valerie Love, happy to serve you. And I am now quiet.
Good morning. What another powerful ACIM lesson. I don't even know where to begin. Besides, I am learning more and more every single day that nothing is real and nothing I see really exists. And I don't know what anything is for. Like, I truly do not know what anything is for as I clear away more and more from my life. I know that living a simple life is more in alignment with who I am. I'm going through a lot of changes and shifting. And it was not funny, haha, but funny. You know, I'm trying to, quote unquote, find my family and thinking about them in other multiverses, or, you know, not that, oh, wow, they're already dead, as opposed to they did what they came here to do, and they dropped that earth suit, and now they're living happily in another multiverse or another dimension or wherever. So I'm just truly being okay with knowing the fact that nothing I see is real. Nothing in this third dimension is real. And when you walk in that knowing, then things don't upset you as much as they used to. And I'm complete.
So you're looking for your family and they have left the planet?
Well, yes, and a long time ago they left, and I've been able to narrow my mom's dad down to one of two brothers, and it's just so funny because the one brother has the exact same name as the same first name as the person that she was told was her father, and then the other guy has the same exact first name and middle initial as my dad's dad. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like looking between these two guys. I know it's one of two, but yeah, they both ascended a long time ago, like 2005, long time ago. So it's just been very interesting. And again, I'm the only person that cares. Everybody else is like, why do you even care? I'm like, I don't know why I care, but I do. But maybe if I just knew that I don't know what anything is for and nothing I see is real, maybe I wouldn't even care either. But there's something in me that just wants to know.
How about asking in the quantum?
Asking who it is in the quantum?
When I cannot get answers in the third dimensional plane, because it's a very limited plane of existence, it's only showing us 1% of our reality. What I do is I go into the quantum. So you can go into dimensions beyond this dimension, communicate with anyone you want to, Albert Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, anyone you want to. You can communicate with them beyond this dimension. So I do that a lot, and it's very helpful. You get answers.
I don't know how to do that. However, I am open to trying that option. I feel if I go down into my gut, I feel like it is the person that has the same name as the dad that she told was her dad. If that was my initial gut feeling, really, I don't even know. I don't know. I'll just be with that. It's been an interesting process for sure.
You know, it was shocking to make that discovery. We make a lot of shocking discoveries about our family, our lineage, and whose daddy was who, and all those things. So the question becomes, what is my intention in seeking this information? Do you have an intention?
I guess I just honestly always felt a disconnect from the side that I was told was my family. There was always just a disconnect. Like, it was like, oh, okay, well, if that's what they told me, but it never felt true. I watched Our Father last week, and if you have not watched Our Father, that's an interesting one to watch. And some of the things that some of the girls were saying felt true to me. Like, okay, well, I guess I'm wrapping my identity up into this vessel. But it's like, yeah, I do feel like I'm kind of having an identity crisis. Like, where do I come from, type of thing. And like, okay, yeah, I come from spirit. But I just always felt some sort of a disconnect from the people that I was told were my people. Like, I never, in my heart of hearts, felt, oh, okay, yeah, like I did with my mom's side. Like, the mom's dad's side was just always a disconnect. And I feel like maybe it was for her too. So my intention, honestly, I just feel like there are these, and I could be wrong, but I feel like there's this group of awesome people out there that are mine, and I want to know
them. There are. You're the whole world. want to go to 20 countries. Right? Oh my goodness. Who's her namaste life says happy first day of the 260 galactic spin. Red magnetic dragon day one. Yay, 260 galactic spin. That's awesome. I gotta bring out my 13 moon calendar and carry it with me just about everywhere I go. Here's the deal too, Harmony. What I heard is this, and family, this is very critical what I'm about to say. The sense of disconnect you felt from one part of the family was the part of the mind that thought it was separated from God. It was really God we were longing for, yearning for. And the sense of being at one and home with the other part of the family was simply a reflection of the part of the mind that knew it was at home in God. There's only God, there's no family. Nothing in this world is real. Everything in this world is but a simulation or a reflection or a reverberation of what's in the real world. So the inner states that I was experiencing was that I thought I was separate from God. Yet there was a part of me, and that was just being reflected in, me not feeling at home with this part of the family. And in me, I also knew that I was completely at home in God, in Source. And that was the part of my mind that was being projected onto my family that I love and am quite comfortable with. Is this adding up?
Well, that sounds like some deep consciousness stuff that I had going on. It adds up, definitely. It adds up, and that was like from childhood on. So it definitely makes sense. I still want to know though.
Yeah, it's beautiful to know. And you know what? Here's what I found, family. You're not going to know anything when you want to know it. You're going to know it when the universe knows that you're ready to know it. Do you know how do you know how long it took me to know my father? I had that question 50 something years in this time space continuum, right? Which is hardly nothing in infinite reality. 50 something years, and I found out all about my father right at the perfect time. Actually, you find it when you stop seeking. As long as you're looking for anything, beloved, you're telling the universe that you don't have it. So it can't give you something that you think you don't have. Stop looking. I know this is hard. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Stop looking. Stop seeking. It's just like a spell. When we cast a spell, we don't go see, is it working? Is it working? I wonder if it's working. That's what we call it magic. Damon Brand calls it lust for result. It doesn't work. It kills your magic. We know this. Magic has a release. That's why I love sigils, because you do your sigil, you do your magic, you put the sigil somewhere where you can't see it, and you don't think about it anymore at all. The universe got that. Your perfect trust. It's done. It's over. It's in my book, Spell Crafting for the Christian Witch. Please get the 11-step spell crafting process in the Christian Witch. It's a formula, not a process. It's a formula for crafting a spell. And you have to release. And most people don't release. They do not, because most of us don't trust the universe. We don't trust the universe. It's going to bring me the perfect answers at the perfect time in the perfect way. I'm going to go about my business. When the universe is ready to deliver it, it will knock on the door and it will deliver the box right into and I get to open the prize box and see what's inside. Yay, it's always an amazing surprise. That's how delicious and wonderful and scrumptious this universe is. Oh, it's so delicious. That's why I always say that word, because it is. Everything about this universe is so delicious. The only thing that fucks things up is my mind. Purple Smurple on YouTube. I would love to get in contact with you, Casey. I would love to be in contact with you too. Purple Smurple. Hey, loving. We're here every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time in 4 places. We are on the Reverend Valerie Love YouTube channel, which is Valerie Love Kaisi. You can get there by going to ValerieLoveTV.com. Second, we're on the Christian Witches YouTube channel every single morning. Hello, don't be alarmed by the word Christian witches. It simply means magical beings who really can dig Christ. Thought Christ was a cool dude. Third, we are on the Facebook fan page of Reverend Valerie Love. Fourth, we are on Clubhouse in the Christian Witches Club on Clubhouse. All the links are below this vid. Who's her namaste like? Oh, Purple Smurple. Also, I have a Zoom that I do with our private group. We have a private group called Ascension. And Ascension, if you want to be an Ascension, it is at valerielove.com. And soon, Ascension will be turning into an NFT on 8/8. Woo! I'm so happy. The Lionsgate Ascension will be turning into an NFT. No longer will there be a monthly charge for Ascension. I am so happy. If I could tell you how happy I am, because I finally found a way to make everyone in Ascension rich. Or do what I can do to make you rich. Yeah, who's her namaste like? Book recommendation: A Thousand Names of Joy by Byron Katie is an excellent compliment to enjoy alongside ACIM. Thank you for that. Who's her namaste life? A Thousand Names of Joy by Byron Katie. Byron Katie also wrote an incredible book called The Work. As a matter of fact, let's go over to Byron Katie's website right now, because her website is so freaking fantastic. And let me go on screen share, because on her website she has these incredible resources. It's called The Work.com.
Red, may I say before I switch the link that's pinned to the top, the link that's pinned to the top right now is our ACIM Telegram link. So if you're not in the group, go ahead and click on that link before we change it.
Lovely. That's a Telegram group. If you'd like to be in a Telegram group and discuss ACIM, of course, there's no spamming. Of course, be loving and kind to everyone. Of course, it's not for you to dump your problems or ask people how to fix your life. It's here for you to share meaningful wisdom, an aha, an epiphany, share something, bring something delicious to the table. It's a buffet, and we're asking you to bring a nice dish, okay? It's a potluck. It's not for coaching. It's not for dumping your problems. It's not for spamming your, hey, I wrote a book and here it is. It's not for any of that. It is for bringing something to the table that is delicious. We know you have it. Byron Katie, Loving What Is. Incredible book. If you go to downloads, here are some incredible downloads from, oh my God, from Byron Katie. How many Judge Your Neighbor worksheets have I done? Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. Let's download it in English. Let's look at it right now. Every time you want to judge somebody, just go on over here and get yourself a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. There it is. And just write out, okay, think of a stressful situation with someone, for an example, an argument. As you meditate on that specific time and place and begin to feel what that felt like, fill in the blanks below. Use short, simple sentences. In this situation, who angers, confuses, hurts, saddens, or disappoints you, and why? I am blank with blank because blank. I am mad with this one because my husband left the glass on the wooden end table. It's brand new and now it has a ring on it. Ugh, this man don't take care of nothing. We spent good money for that. Yeah, I used to get upset over shit like that. Now, look, dude, put whatever you want wherever you want. Help yourself. It's a free world. We'll buy another table. I don't care. At least people know people live here when they come. Once in this situation, how do you want him or her to change? What do you want him or her to do? I want blank to do blah, 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 blah. You get the picture. The Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, you need to get it. Okay, Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. She also has in here an introduction to the work. She also has in here the 4 questions and the turnaround. I freaking love the 4 questions. I use the 4 questions all the time. As much as I use the 4 questions, I stopped on the first question because that usually got me where I needed to be. Is that true? That's the first question. Is that true? That's all. That is the first question. Here it is, the 4 questions in the work. Here's the 4 questions. Example, Paul lied to me. Okay, repeat your statement and ask, is it true? Yes or no? Paul lied to me. Is it true? Yes, he lied to me. Can you absolutely know that it's true? Yes, he lied to me. I'm telling you, Byron Katie, I know what I'm talking about. He lied to me. Okay. Can you know better than this? Is another question that she asked that I absolutely love. She says, can you know better than God that it's true? Well, because we don't even doubt our mad beliefs. We just believe them, no questions asked. And we're mad. So this is where you start to doubt and poke holes in the bullshit story. Well, no, I can't know better than God that is true. Okay. How do you react? What happens when you believe the thought, Paul lied to me? Well, when I believe the thought, Paul lied to me, I get upset. He shouldn't lie to me. We're in a relationship. We love each other. When I believe the thought, Paul lied to me, I don't feel good. I feel betrayed. When I believe the thought, Paul lied to me, I think he must be in love with someone else. Maybe I'm not. He's not in love with me anymore. I'm unlovable. When I believe the thought, oh, on and on and on. Okay? This is where my mind used to go. Okay, who or what would you be without the thought? Who or what would you be without the thought? Paul lied to me. Well, I'd be happy. Oh, okay. You'd be happy if you just didn't have that thought. If you just didn't have the thought, it's just a thought. What if you didn't have the thought? Paul lied to me. What if you didn't have that thought? Well, I'd be happy right now because it means Paul didn't lie to me. No, what if you didn't have the thought that Paul lied to you? Oh, oh, now you're asking me about me and my thoughts. I thought you were asking me about Paul. Um, Well, yeah, I'd be happy. If I didn't have the thought, Paul lied to me, I'd be happy and peaceful. Okay, well, then turn the thought around. I lied to me. I lied to Paul. Paul didn't lie to me. Paul told me the truth. As you visualize the situation, contemplate how each turnaround is as true or true. I lied to me. Can you prove that that's not just as true or truer than Paul lied to me? Can you prove it? I lied to me. I lied to me. Well, no, I cannot prove that that is not just as true or even truer than Paul lied to me. Come on, Byron Katie, in 4 questions. If you want to know how this works, go to YouTube and look up Byron Katie, and she will freaking blow your mind because you will have all kinds of people come to stage and they will say, no, this happens to me, that happens to me. I was just so afraid. I was so abandoned. Oh, I was so betrayed. Oh, they cheated on me. You see everybody with their bullshit stories come to the stage, and Byron Katie will ask them 4 questions, and the whole bullshit story will be unraveled. Those 4 questions are the most powerful 4 questions I've ever seen, arranged in an elegant way through a simple process that will unravel any bullshit story you're telling yourself. And you're not even happy when you're telling yourself the story. Why do we tell ourselves unhappy stories and believe them and get very upset? Thank you, who's her Namaste Life, for bringing up today Byron Katie. Her work is incredible. It is incredible. The work of Byron Katie is incredible. All right. Who else is speaking to us today? And Purple Smurple has a good question. Not to be off topic, but for Christ, is there saints? Absolutely, there are saints. Well, for me, there's saints. There's saints, there's Christ, there's all kinds of conscious agents, the scientists call it, especially Donald D. Hoffman, who is a quantum physicist. He calls it conscious agents. And so there are Orisha, there are saints, there are higher order beings. There are more beings in this universe than you could possibly imagine, and more beings that every religious uh, path and every spiritual path told us that there are many, many, many agents in this universe. And yes, it is true. There are. I've met a lot of them, and you have too. Max, how you loving?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm like just waking up because I'm in Boulder, so we have a slight time difference. But and I was reading through the comments of the page, and I love how people are so receptive to this course. It's great to see. I'm doing well, Val. You know, and we spoke yesterday, so you know what's up. But girl, I was doing a meditation this morning on Clubhouse, and there was that realization was whether we're in a tunnel, and what's that light coming at the end of the tunnel? Is it the sun or is it a train? And the perspective on how we receive it will be the outcome. Knowing that when there's clouds, the sun still shines. And that as we're coming out of this tunnel, like Gloria Estefan once said, coming out of the dark, the light will blaze through everything. So you were a huge blaze of light yesterday for me, and I love you, and I appreciate it so much.
Always, Max. We're here for each other. Always. I wouldn't walk this planet without all my peeps. I tell you, I wouldn't. I would be super crazy if I didn't have all my peeps. All of y'all.
You know, there's the beautiful, we're all just walking each other home. Right? We're all in this path walking each other in this beautiful direction.
Yes, we are.
And that's why when there's a cultivation of friends and a community, you know, and I'm always known for saying, you know, when they say it takes a village, I'm like, yeah, but not everybody in that village is on your team. So it takes a tribe. And when you have a tribe and a circle of friends, that bond of friendship is so great that late in the midnight hour when God is turning things around and you're able to call a friend, it's having a direct access to calling all that is source, God. Just to have that comfort and that compassion of someone who knows and loves you. And that's what you did for me yesterday. So I appreciate it so much. And I'm grateful to be part of your circle.
Oh, Max, you are such a light. Such a light. Family, I'm telling you, I cannot wait until you all meet Max when we go to his house for the fall equinox. I don't know, we might be there for the spring equinox again too. When we go to Max's for the fall equinox, because Max is an unusual bright light, You don't it's kind of like Ben said. Ben is one of my friends that I met down in Mexico. And he said, Kaisi, none of my friends are normal. I was like, I know. Mine are like that. Exactly. Like we don't hang out with normal people. We don't know normal people. We know people who are extraordinary in what they know of themselves, that they are infinite consciousness. I'm telling you, when we go to Max's home, you are going to love meeting this incredible being. And you'll love the apple picking too. We're going to do some apple picking in New York in the fall, which we'll love. Of course, we're going to do our ritual, of course, for the fall equinox. Of course, we got the river there. We got a bonfire. Oh my goodness. And some plant medicine, wink, wink, that we cannot talk about in public circles. You have to be there to experience that. Of course, not ayahuasca. It's not legal there, so I'm not bringing ayahuasca. It's some plant medicines that we have. Also, Bushwoman. Bushwoman was at the first ever Christian Witches Convention. I'm reading her comment now on YouTube. Looking forward to New Orleans. Bushwoman, we are about to burn New Orleans up next week. Family, this is what it's going to look like at the Christian Witches Convention next week. Thursday evening, we're there Memorial Day weekend. Thursday evening, we have our welcome reception, our opening ritual. Friday, we have classes. I'm teaching you some classes. One of the classes that I'm teaching is, who and where is Max? Max Tucci. Oh my goodness, Jackie. You got to know Max Tucci. Look up at Max Tucci, Tucci. He is the incredible host of a show called Max and Friends, an award-winning host of an incredible show on spirituality and lighting up the whole world called Max and Friends. So look up Max Tucci and you will find all about Max. And Max, look, they said, where is Max? Max is everywhere. Where are you, Max?
My new name is Better Max because I'm just, we're all omnipresent.
Yeah.
We're all omnipresent. Right now, though, physically, I'm in Boulder, Colorado. And, yesterday, as Val, there was a situation with my beloved. And to be able to be in this community where I have such a rich friendship and circle of friends like Ash Ruiz, who was, there for me as you were, it was like so beautiful to be in this community where the vibration here is such a rich vibration. It's such a high vibration. And, I do want to extend, after we do New York, we must do something in Boulder, Colorado, because the energy here, the mountain energy is really, really rich. And so that's where I am right now. But Val, I just wanted to bring up one thing yesterday. I have to give you an update. So when we got off the phone, I went home and I was like, all right, I'm taking the shower, I'm washing my hair, I'm putting on all white, and I'm going to rush through that hospital like a blaze of flame.
Okay.
And yeah, they weren't prepared when I returned. So thank you for the encouragement. When there's a shift in our reality as we perceive it, sometimes we might forget who we are. And, there's that song from Mary J. Blige, the remix, if my train falls off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And that's what this room is about. That's what your retreats are about. It's about those moments when we're picked up and elevated, and when our vibrations raise, and when all that is with us. Because in that moment, where we are and where we are right now, the fullness of God is. And when we can take our glory and run with it, we become energized. So thank you for bringing such beautiful energy into time and space. And it's obtainable to all. So if there's anyone that's tuning in right now that feels broken or feels like they have confusion and feels like they're just down, know that when you fill your space up with people like Kaisi and you have that energy raise you up, you're just reminding yourself that you were not built to break. So I wanted to share that, and I love
you. Love you, Max, forever and ever. I am so happy you reached out to me goo gobs of years ago. I am so happy. You were like, how you loving? Oh my God, Max. That was probably one of the best days ever of my life because you're one of the greatest gifts of my life. Max, how did you do that? How did you do that, Max?
What? I said yes to life. And I love that you said yes to life. And you said yes to life a second time. And being available is what's so beautiful. And I remember, I don't even know how you came across, either was it my desk or through one of my producers. I don't know the genesis of how we met in this turn. But I know that it was a reconnection. And I remember I still physically and mentally see and can be in the place where I called and left you the message the first time. I was in Florida. I was driving over the intercoastal, this bridge. There was a lighthouse, and it was like a beautiful day, and the ocean was like roaring. And I heard your voice message. And when you leave it, with at the end about 1,000 steps, take the first step. Take the first step. And then I was, hey, how you loving? This is Max Tucci. I want to have you on Max and Friends. And that was, I don't even know how many years ago. And what's beautiful is that collectively over the many years that we've shared friendship and we've shared doing shows on Max and Friends, there's such a beautiful takeaway that I call it, when I'm with you, it's like, and I have conversation with you, it's a spiritual workout. I remember doing the show with you when I was like literally sitting in the chair sweating. And I was like, this is such an amazing spiritual workout. Like my body's in this chair, but yet I'm just so filled with spirit that I'm sweating because the conversation we're having is such a conscious conversation. And I know that if one person hears it, it will shift their paradigm and whatever they're going through. I love the saying, if you're going through hell, don't stop.
Don't stop. Keep
They're
going.
not going to stop. And that's the beauty of testimony and our stories and sharing stories and storytelling and not sticking our head in the sand and being the ostrich and not being transparent. Our stories are here to inspire others to continue to live life so fruitfully. So thank you for returning the call and for saying yes to being on the show and for reconnecting in this lifetime. I just love you.
And every time we're together, I'm telling you, Max and I are on another planet. Every time, we're not even on any planet. Every time we're together, we could be walking the beach in Florida. We could be eating some pastries. We could be, we were in New York walking by Freedom Tower. We can be seeing Mama Ia. Everywhere we are, that's where the party is, because that's how spirit operates. That's how spirit operates when you're with people that remember who they are. Max, thank you for being in my life. What a bright light and a gift. What a
Thank
bright
you for
light.
being in mine. Thank you for being in mine. And thank you for yesterday when, that moment happened. There was such a paradigm shift when you're like, now you go back in there and you be the healer that you are. And I was like, oh, I got to change my sneakers. I'm about to run up through this place. But yeah, it's beautiful. So I appreciate you. And yeah, it's true. The essence of when we're together. When we did that talk once in the apartment in New York.
Oh yeah.
And there's just been so many reminders that the journey that we're on together is so beautiful. And when you have someone to celebrate the journey with, and someone that you're able to call a friend with,
Mm-hmm.
and someone that the divine puts in your life, because in moments like yesterday when you need that reminder, and someone knows you so well to remind you of who you are. That's the gift. And that's, when we celebrate friends and family and the ones we love and the ones that know us, remember, to be in that place, in that space where ego doesn't take over. Mm-mm. And if you need someone, pick up the phone and call. That old school, there was that old school AT&T, reach out and touch someone. Right? It's like the day of just checking in on social media and just looking through on text message. No, reach out and touch someone. Mm-hmm. And voice touches. The sound of our voice never ends. It's the eternal Om. It continues. So when we put words out, they continue. So be reminded to put words out of love, of encouragement, and uplifting and friendship. And with that, I love you, and I'm going to go on with my day. And for all of those that are listening right now, reach out and touch someone. I love you all, and we are not built to break. We are not built to break. Have a beautiful day and shine
on. Shine on, Max. Shine on. Lots of love to you. Next weekend, when we go to New Orleans, Thursday evening, we have our incredible ritual and our opening ceremonies for the Christian Witches Convention in New Orleans. Get ready for a lot of hugs. Get ready for the hugs, because when we get together, it's a hug fest. And if you don't like hugs, it's all good too. No problem. No problem. We love you however you want to be loved, because that's what we do. We're professional lovers. We love you however you want to be loved. And on Friday, we have class. I'll be teaching the class in the morning on the 4 steps out of the broom closet, how to exit the broom closet is for self-loving, self-honoring steps. We're going to be talking on Friday afternoon about a big lunch break you have so you can explore more New Orleans. It's a lot of free time built in so you can explore New Orleans on Memorial Day weekend. We're also going to have a class later on Friday all about the Forbidden Knowledge series, because people love the Forbidden Knowledge series, all these things you didn't know about Jesus, the Bible, Adam and Eve, this, that, and the other. So we're going to get into some forbidden knowledge. We're going to get into some spell work for the Christian witch. On Saturday, we have some free time in the morning, and then we're going to meet up in the French Quarter because we are going to be going to magic shops. Woo! And one of my favorite magic shops, a couple of my favorite magic shops are owned by Brian Day and Christian and Brian. And there are a couple that are down in New Orleans. I think they have a home in New Orleans. I think they also have a home in Salem. They own a magic shop in Salem called, do you know Brian and Christian, Max? Do you know them? In the magic world, or no? Have you they put on the Hex Fest event each year. I'm not sure if you can speak now. Max may not be able to speak. If you can, let me know. So Brian and Christian, they own, you've probably been to one of their magic shops in Salem. In Salem, they own Omen, which we love, and that's where we had our Christian Witches opening ceremony when we had it in Salem. We had it at Omen, and Omen is an incredible magic store more toward those who work on the light. And then they also have hex, which is more for people who follow the left-hand path or people who more do the darker magic. I don't have no judgment. Do whatever kind of magic works for you. So they have Omen and Hex in Salem, and now they have Omen and Hex in New Orleans. When they opened in New Orleans, I was so happy to see Omen in New Orleans. I was like, of course, because everybody's trying to cram into the little Marie Laveau store. Some people say it's real, some people say it's not. I experience it real everywhere I go. I experience it being real because I'm real.
Rev, you're muted on this side.
Oh, I'm just talking about the Christian Witches Convention, and only the Love Tubers are hearing me. Love Tubers and Facebookers. What I was sharing about the Christian Witches Convention next weekend, you can get your tickets. Ticket sales end on Sunday. So next weekend we'll be in New Orleans. Thursday night we're going to have an opening ceremony and a ritual on Thursday evening. Lots of hugs because we love hugging everyone. Friday I'll be teaching a class on how to exit the broom closet in 4 simple steps. How to be able to stand up to your Christian friends who tell you ain't nothing but the devil. You going to hell because witches are with the devil. Blah 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 blah. We will dissipate all of that. We will dispel all of that with truth. Truth will correct all errors in my mind and really help you understand what a witch and wizard is. And so Friday we have some classes, some delicious classes. On Saturday and you'll have a big lunch break in middle so that you can go in between class and get yourself a nice lovely lunch with friends. On Saturday in the morning, have free time. In the afternoon, we're going to meet up and we are going to be going to the magic shops. So let's talk about Christian Day and Brian Kane. Christian and Brian own a magic shop. They own 4 magic shops that I know of. They put on Hex Fest every year in New Orleans, and Christian gave us an incredible discount for the first Christian Witches Convention, and we also rented out their space at Omen, which is in New Orleans. Max, I was wondering, do you know Christian and Brian? They have in the magical world, there are warlocks in the magical world, and they own 2 stores in Salem, Omen and Hex, and they own 2 stores in New Orleans now, Omen and Hex. Do you know them? I gotta hook you up with them. Do you know them?
Not yet, and I look forward to.
Oh my God, you will love them. Oh my God, you will love them. My dream is to get 3. I never told you this, Max. My dream is to get 3 of my fave couples together, Brian and Christian, Max and Keith, and Calvin and Jeremy. Because you know Calvin Witcher, though, right? And his husband Jeremy.
Of course, Reverend Calvin Cartwright.
Calvin Witcher. I'm talking about Calvin Witcher and Jeremy.
Okay, yeah.
You know Calvin? That one?
No.
Oh, okay. Calvin Witcher. Oh my God. Look up Calvin Witcher and his husband Jeremy. And Calvin was at the first ever Christian Witches Convention. Calvin has taught us an incredible sorcerer and magician. There's just no words for Calvin because I freaking love him. He is now Theontos. He said that he has a new name now. So we don't call him Calvin Witcher anymore. He's known now as Theontos. And he was at the first ever Christian Witches Convention. He has taught at the Christian Witches Mystery School with us. And Calvin and Jeremy have 4 boys. And I got to tell you something. 4 boys, right? 4 boys. Those boys are probably the most well-behaved kids I had ever seen in my life. They were sitting there meditating with us when we were at Mystery School in New Orleans, okay? Calvin was teaching. Calvin also taught at Mystery School in Salem. So Calvin has been with our community for a long time. As a matter of fact, Calvin also taught with us in Sedona. Calvin came to Sedona and taught there too in the Mystery School. So everybody who's been in Mystery School, they know Calvin very well. He teaches sigils. He teaches lots of magic, sex magic, all of that. And now he's known as Theontos. So I had a secret desire to get all of you together in the same room because I feel like if all 6 of you knew each other, it would just be magic upon magic upon magic. I just feel like those connections would be amazing. I'm going to find a way to make that happen.
Let's do it. I'll host the dinner. I'll host the dinner. I wanted to mention while you're in New Orleans, a great friend of mine is Ashley Longshore. She's an artist down there, and she has one of her studios and galleries. Ooh. So if you're up for, seeing some of the most incredible art of our time right now, I mean, Ashley has been called the Andy Warhol of our time.
Wow.
And she has done some incredible work of some of the most prominent figures in our society and in our consciousness. So Ashley Longshore is her name. She's a wonderful artist. If you don't know her, you'll get to know her. And look at her work. If you collect art, she's definitely someone to start collecting. She has a great book. She has 3 books actually. 2 art books. The last one called Roar, about all of the women that she's painted.
Wow.
So definitely, when you're in the area in New Orleans, and if you have a minute or two and you want to discover a new artist, Ashley Longshore is an amazing individual. And so I wanted to share that with you. Also, one quote that I picked up from yesterday was that our power is greater than any circumstance.
Ooh.
So when you're feeling as if you don't have that power, look in the mirror and remind yourself, the power within me is greater than any circumstance. And now I look forward big time to all of us getting together, because I know if you're putting it into action that it will happen. So I look forward to it happening. And have a beautiful day. And thank you for thinking of putting us together. It's a beautiful thing when it's a skill when someone can orchestrate putting people together, and that's a beautiful thing. So thank you for having us in your consciousness in that gathering. I love you.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a delightful dinner. I love that. So, love you, Max. So, on Saturday in the morning, you'll have some free time. In the afternoon, we're going to get together and we're going to Omen and Hex and the Vampire Shop. Supposedly, there's only 2 real vampire shops in the entire world. One is in New Orleans. This vampire shop, Brian and Christian took us there during Hex Fest. So it will have you super questioning about, if you ever wondered if vampires are real and you don't want to believe in vampires. I've seen vampires before. If you don't want to believe in vampires, this store will likely change your mind. Like, they have everything in there, including bags of blood. They have the wooden stakes. They have the holy water, the cross. They have a whole vampire slaying and vampire hunting kit. It's in a wooden box. It's over the top. Then again, this is New Orleans. It's full of magic and it's full of vampires. So, hey, we're also going to the cemetery, so you can get your little cemetery dirt. Don't dig up the whole cemetery. Every time I take witches into the cemetery, I have to tell them, don't dig up the whole place, okay? Make it discreet. Scoop up your little cemetery dirt, fill your vessel and close it, seal it, wrap it up, and be discreet about what you're doing. Don't go in there with a shovel, okay? So that is Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday night, of course, is our Christian Witches Ball. We always have a ball, we always have a party, and we always have a themed party. The first time it was themed American Horror Story, and that's why you see me sitting here with this huge Myrtle Snow wig on my head. That was my version, my take on Myrtle Snow. If you don't know who the incredible witch Myrtle Snow is, please look her up, because she's one of my favorite witches of all time, Myrtle Snow. American Horror Story, Apocalypse. This time it is the Matrix. Do not come in there on Saturday night without your Matrix outfit, because you won't be able to get into the party. Buy something. I don't care if you have to buy a pair of black sunglasses, okay? Because we are having the Matrix. It's not Matrix Revolutions. It's not Matrix Resurrections. This is the original Matrix. This is not Matrix Revisited. This is the original Matrix. Get your Matrix gear on. Come in there as the Matrix character you are and make us believe it. Like when Robert came in as Papa Legba, he took the prize. Do you see him right there with the bones and the hat? Oh, from American Horror Story, he's straight up Papa Legba. I was looking around my shoulder the whole night because I was like, please don't summon Papa Legba in here, because I really don't want to deal with all that he brings. That's not my jam. Papa Legba is not my jam. I don't go into those waters, okay? So the Christian Witches Ball is on Saturday night. Lots of fun. We're going to have a party. And then Sunday morning is church at 11 a.m. We have our Christian Witches church service. We're going to get our praise on. On that day, we will be doing ACIM. I'll be teaching in church. I'll be teaching it live. So next Sunday on Memorial Day weekend, the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, our live stream will be at 11 a.m. rather than 7 a.m. because we will all be doing the course together at the Christian Witches Convention, Christian Witches Church. And the last time we had Christian Witches Church at the Christian Witches Convention, I taught ACIM lesson 50, I am sustained by the love of God. So that's what we're doing next weekend. And guess what? If you don't know what I just said, or you have questions about what I just said, trust the universe and know that it's going to be fabulous. Don't ask us no questions in the Christian Witches Convention Telegram, because if you notice, I don't answer questions. And trust the universe. It's going to be lovely. What's your intention? Did you set an intention, beloved? Did you say to yourself, this is going to be spectacular? This is going to be amazing. I'm going to learn so much. I'm going to connect with so many amazing people. I'm going to have the most amazing time of my life. I'm going to do magic. I'm going to go deeper into my magic. I'm going to accept myself as a magical being. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever happens. Don't ask no questions. Where are we going to be? You'll get all that information when you require it. Make sure you're in the Christian Witches Telegram group. Make sure you're connected. You're going to get all the information when you require it. All right. Rainbow. How you loving?
Namaste, Faith. Got my eye on Max today, obviously. But yeah, I'm as good as can be. How about yourself?
Fabulous.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you be? And I agree with everything you're saying, apart from the vampires. You know, on my soul, I've got to be honest in terms of that sense. I used to creep about in graveyards when I was a wee boy, and in my later life, actually. I think it was all connected to my own disconnection. And I used to go into graveyards for shortcuts and everything, specifically on a Saturday night at midnight, Sunday morning, you see. And luckily for me, I never seen any ghosts and goblins. And if I did, I'd just shit myself basically and ran up a tree.
That is so funny. You know, when I saw a vampire, it wasn't in New Orleans. Y'all would not believe where I saw this vampire. Y'all would not even believe it. I saw this vampire, and I've remembered it from that. I can still see it. I saw this vampire on the Owl, which was a bus that they used to have that rode around Philly at night. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Any of my Philly peeps in the chat or in the family, any of my Philly peeps know about that late night bus? It's free. You just hop on it. I guess it's to carry people all around safely because they're coming out of, stumbling out of bars and pubs and clubs, and they don't want people driving. And it's called the Owl. Or they used to have it. I don't know if they still have it after COVID, because you know COVID changed a lot of things. It was called the Owl. And me and my daughter were on it. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were coming from somewhere in Philly or going somewhere. And we hopped on this bus. And we just get on the bus. You know, I'm not expecting anything. You're never expected to meet beings from other sides or from of other kinds. There's a lot of beings on this planet. And now they're finally declassifying all of the, not all, they're declassifying a lot of the CIA quote unquote protected information about meeting up with different kinds of beings that are on this planet. Well, we're on the Owl, and on walks this dude. The energy was unmistakable. And he stood right in the middle of the bus. I'm telling you, I can still see this dude. Well, now to everyone else, he looked like a regular human being. I don't know how he looked to everyone else, because I can't really say I know how he looked to me because I'm a witch. I don't know how he looked to everyone else. So let me be completely honest with that. I know I knew what I was looking at when he walked on. And kid you not, the dude looked straight in my eye, and I looked straight in his eye. And he communicated to me, you know who I am? And I said, yes. And he was like, and that was it. It was silent. And it was like, they don't. I was just looking at him, just staring at him. He was staring at me. I was staring at him. And I'm telling you, we had a telepathic conversation. That was the first time I saw a vampire in real life. Now, you've heard of them. And everything you've heard of that's enduring in the lore and consciousness of humans is real. It just might not be how you think it is. Because, of course, not everything in this world is true. It might not be how you think it is. How is it that witches have endured forever? One of the most enduring archetypes we have. Because witches are real, warlocks are real, all that stuff. All that stuff is real. Fairies are real, mermaids are real, all that stuff is real. Yeah, we're not always able to stretch our human mind, right, family, into even the possibility that these things could be real. All of it's real. And far more than we could fathom. Mhm. This is the window. Anyone? Thank you for the super sticker, super chat. I am Mermaid Q. Thank you for the super chat on on YouTube. Love you, love you, love you. All right, are we ready for our galactic signature for today? We ready for the galactic signature? I think we are.
You were muted on this side, but I heard you say you were ready for the galactic signature.
No wonder. I'm talking and no one's responding. I'm like, wow, everyone's quiet today. How about they can't freaking hear you, Kaisi? How about that?
Whenever I don't hear you, I always go to YouTube to make sure you're still talking. I'm like, oh, she's still talking on YouTube. It must be a secret. I don't know.
No, it's never a secret from Clubhouse. I love you, Clubhouse family. Does Rainbow have something else to share with us today before we go to the galactic signature?
Well, I'm a big fan of love, because love just seems to conquer everything, basically, regardless of what we're feeding inside, thinking mind at any time. And like I say, I'm keeping an eye on Max, because he's getting very cozy with you, and I thought we had an arrangement, for fuck's sake. But magic in terms of the way you're helping all these souls grow, obviously. And I just love your frequency. You and Max's also, and everybody else's. When they're allowing their own souls to flow is gold to me. So thanks very much.
Our arrangement still stands, Rainbow, because Max has a wonderful husband. So he's already taken.
Aye, but you got that magic flowing from your soul, you see. So that could get the likes of Max and me into a particular glow, you know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. I tell you one thing, I am so happy to have you in my world, Rainbow, because it's the Scottish man I was looking for. I'm telling you, family, when I saw that Scottish on my in my ancestry, it made so much sense because I was just always drawn. And the other day I was thinking about that. Why was it Scottish? Why was it Scottish I was drawn to? It wasn't Denmark, it wasn't Ireland, it was Scottish, like the whole thing, like the music, the bagpipes, the land, the castles. I've been drooling over Scottish castles. Like, why was it Scotland? Why was it that? Like, I'm always watching stuff on TV about Scotland this and Scotland that and Scottish. And why was I so tuned into that? Like, it's in my blood. And then here comes the Scottish man. Don't you love that?
Well, we've all got a wee bit of Scottish in us, I believe. Under the electrical magnetic energy, well, that is the electrical magnetic energy, sorry. When you go below the blood flow, we all have this willingness and desire to be free, like the Braveheart movie, basically. And we're our own keepers of our own misery or of our own flow and magic that's inside us, obviously. And you're allowing yourself to flow all out of you beautifully.
Thank you so much, Rainbow. How is your day today? How are you today? How is your whole world? Magnificent?
Aye, pretty much. It's interesting, you see. I'm studying the Rumi and what made Rumi into Rumi, basically, which was all about what I see as the hero's journey. We get into a comfortable place, and then somebody comes along and blows it apart, literally, and we're grabbing onto the old, feeding the new. But that's what makes us become who we're here to be, I believe. Staying out of the past or thinking about the future and just being in the divine time, the golden moments in time, basically. So it's been an interesting journey for me today, let's put it that way. And, I'm just grateful that I'm ever evolving in a natural way as opposed to getting in my own way, basically.
Tell us something good about Rumi that you really liked, that resonated.
Where do you start? Well, a big key for me, check out Rumi's the 40 rules of love. And he teaches it much better than me. But ultimately, for me, Rumi's everything in terms of he was a very wealthy man. His father was very well known, so everybody gave him total respect. And then this guy came along, Al-Zir, I believe, and he pulled him out of his comfort zone big time. He had him going all over the place. And he was doing things with him that, he was saying to Rumi, basically, well, it's all well and good, you've grown up in a particular way every day. But it's a bit like the story of Job in the Bible. And, he was saying to Rumi, okay, well, let's take you out your comfort zone. Let's see how you're going to allow your soul to flow when you don't have all these expectations getting in your way. And that's literally the story as to what created Rumi in the first place. Because he got taken out of the comfort place. Because, I don't know if anybody, I don't know how much you know about the Sufis, but Rumi, ardent non-drinker, Muslim obviously, and one of the things that Al-Zir did was he told him to go to the local tavern, hang about for a while, meaning everybody would see that Rumi was in there, you see, and then order 2 large vessels of wine. And it was divine, because then Rumi, instead of having everybody bowing to him and being grateful to see him and wanting to hear his wonderful words, and this is before he became a poet, they're all looking at him and thinking, well, pot kettle black, by the way, you're in here and you're drinking wine, for fuck's sake. But he never drank it, you see. But he knew what they were thinking. And he did actually go with the view that Al-Zir was going to make him drink the wine when he got back with it that night. I won't spoil the end for you in that sense. But I don't know, it's just everything in me that I see in terms of Rumi. He was a visionary, obviously. Nearly 900 years ago since he walked this earth. And it's very clear to me how he got into the flow tree. Through the same hero's journey that we all go through. We all have the ability, and Rumi was clear. Get into your own flow. Not everybody else's. And dance the song that flows freely from you. And that's what I do every day, basically. So I kind of got pulled ass by head and put all over the place in the last couple of years. And it's just amazingly amazing the way everything's fate. And the only way to get out your own fate is just to, figure out your disconnection, basically, and you'll be as good as gold, because that's when your soul really starts to flow outside the old sinking mind. And then you start to see who you're here to be. Souls know better than the person thinking mind, My soul takes me in places the same as you that I wouldn't have even have imagined possible. Because not in the thinking mind, causing expectation all the time, makes us all sink deep down inside and takes away your own. Well, it doesn't take it away, it just buries your own magic, basically. So when you're thinking, your soul's not glowing because you're pushing it back down to the subconscious state as opposed to just letting it flow as the conscious awareness you're here to be. No need for fear in any way.
Ashe. Ashe. I love Rumi. His words are like honey. I love Rumi. You and him have a kinship, yes?
Definitely. When I got reconnected synchronistically, I just started speaking in the old poetry. But there was one, Rumi does speak about this actually, as he does everything. Words, they don't hit the spot. You go beyond that. So it was all well and good for me to be rhyming all the time, if you know what I mean. But ultimately, there was something still deep down inside me, a bit of a Rumi, I believe, but true. We're all the same, though, We're multidimensional when we get into our soul's flow. So I was very akin to Rumi when I got on this platform, actually. And everything came to me synchronistically in terms of Rumi quotes here and there. And if anyone looks at my Instagram feed, it's pretty much basically Rumi. Because he's as clear as day, same as me. Well, that's what I'm attempting to be. Just helping souls understand everything's golden from the soul.
Hello.
Do you notice, by the way, Max doesn't hang about when I'm talking to you? I think that's a bit of jealousy between you.
I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, good. No, Max isn't jealous. He's such a beautiful soul. Oh, my goodness. I think people are jealous of Max. I don't think Max is jealous of anyone. Oh, my goodness. Love you, Rainbow. Love you much. All right. Are we ready for our Galactic Signature?
Yes. Again, as I usually end the day with, thank you everyone for hopping on for our Course in Miracles lesson 139. The Christian Witches link is pinned to the top of the room. If you don't have a ticket yet, do not fret. Tickets sales stop on Sunday. It is not too late. I just got my ticket 2 days ago and the price was $212. I just checked out of curiosity and I'm kind of in my feelings because now the airfare is only $154. So don't think that airfare might be too high. Go check it out. Get your tickets. There are still people in the Christian Witches Telegram that are looking for roommates. So where else better to be the Memorial Day weekend than with us at the Christian Witches Convention in New Orleans? All of my dad's family lives in New Orleans. So for me, anytime I go there, it's like a family reunion. So click on Christian Witches, get your tickets if you don't already have them. If you do already have your tickets and you're still looking for a roommate, be sure to check our Telegram group for roomies. There are people looking for roomies. If you are coming with us in Mexico, there are still a couple of slots left for the calendar. So if you want to come to Mexico, then you would go to ValerieLove.com, click on Global Events, and there you'll see all the details for our Mexico experience, where we bring in the new year together, reading A Course in Miracles. If you, for whatever reason, know that you can't go to our beautiful party in Mexico, I don't know where else you want to be, but if you just know there's something in you that knows you can't go and you still want to be in the book, then you would go to ValerieLove.com and click on books. Valerie.com and click on books. We still have a few spaces left in the calendar, so definitely if you know that you want to be in the book, you still have some time. Okay, we are in Ken 1.
Just a couple of spaces. Don't miss out. You know, people wait until they see the thing and say, "Oh, I wanted that," rather than going with the resonance when you hear it move. Those are the ones that get the prize.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there were so many people that tried to make a miracle happen in the last hour for Dubai. Don't let that happen this time. You have 6-7 months.
You can be there.
Maybe 6 to get everything together. So right now, you have the opportunity to start a payment plan and to get everything in order. So if you know you wanted to be with us in Dubai when you saw the flying dresses, we will have flying dresses Cancun. So you know you want to not miss out on that experience. Don't let that be you. I used to always be the one to miss out on experiences, and it was just simply due to lies I told myself. So whatever lie you're telling yourself in this moment, drop it and allow yourself to live. When I dropped all of the bullshit that was going on in my mind, the experiences that I've had thus far have been beyond incredible. So don't let that be you if you know you want to go.
Yep, that's right.
All right, Ken number 1, Red Magnetic Dragon. I unify in order to nurture, attracting being. I seal the input of birth with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. I am a galactivation activation portal. Enter me. I unify in order to nurture, attracting being. I seal the input of birth with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. I unify in order to nurture, attracting being. I seal the input of birth with a magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. Red Magnetic Dragon, Ken number 1.
We started all the way back at number 1 again. Yesterday, pardon me, was Ken 260. So today we began a brand new galactic spin. And it says here, it is the first day of the 260-day galactic spin. Pardon me, the first day of the 260 Zolkin. And it also begins the 52-day Red Eastern Castle of Turning Court of Birth. So today starts the new 260-day count. And today also starts the new castle. We have castles in the 13 moon calendar. If you don't understand anything that we're talking about, go to lawoftime.org. You are loved. Can everyone send some love to my love tubers? Can everyone unmute and send some love to the love tubers and to the whole world? Love your family. Have a beautiful day.
Love y'all. Have a phenomenal day. Peace.